Howdy, this is a little piece of poetry that I made to go along with the alternate version of my song, Let Me Drown, Mechanized Suffocation. I don't usually do this kind of stuff, but I thought I'd give it a shot, so here it is, Mechanized Suffocation.
You've come to deal me a fate worse than death. It would be a blessing to be violated instead of being subjected to your machine. Mechanized suffocation. I am bound to the operating table. My elders stand around me, my teachers, my confidants, and my parents. You're so strong, Clay, they tell me. I know life is unfair, but I'm so proud of you. What? Why are you letting this happen? I ask them. Any one of you is perfectly capable of stopping this. We don't want to get in trouble, they reply. Besides, this is your battle to face. How am I supposed to do this on my own? You all are free, but I can't even move. And whose fault is that? My mother asks me. I didn't ask to be like this. I hear a door swing open, then the room goes silent, and my voice is the only one left echoing in the chamber. As you make your way closer to me, I hear the click, click, click of high heels. High heels? Such an insult. You complain how uncomfortable they are when I can't even walk away. Then I hear you breathe. So pretty. So real. I can almost feel the rising and falling of your chest. I look up to see the visage of my demise. You have the face of everyone I've ever loved, of everyone who gave me a sliver of hope. I focus on one of your many faces and lock in with your cruel blue eyes. Your false blonde hair speaks to your treacherous nature. I plead with you, help me! It's against the code, though. You wouldn't have a problem with me getting help. You just don't want to be the one to do it. You pull down the machine from the ceiling. It shines in all its magnificence. Cruel steel rods, sharp metal hooks, and glistening spikes protrude from the abomination. All it takes is one of you to decide to stop, and you all stop. You need to have a unanimous consensus to operate. Yet, not one of you wants to be the one to say stop. I see the metal appendages of the machine retract into its main body as you bring it closer to my face. As you precisely position the machine, you lean in close, letting me see your face once again. I look for any sign of recognition, any trace of the person who gave me hope. You instead turn your head and shoot me a look of sheer disgust. That's when I know I hate you. You press a button on the machine and it starts to whir. You grab my head and forcefully pry my jaw open. The machine extends toward me and enters my mouth. The sleek metal touches my tongue. It's cold. It drains the heat from my mouth as it moves deeper. I try to keep my eyes on your face, but the machine reaches the back of my throat, making me gag. I reflexively squint my eyes as I flinch from the sensation, and when I open them again, the world seems slightly out of focus. My attention is drawn toward the steel framework sticking out of my mouth. I cross my eyes to observe its slow extent, going past the border of my vision and into my body. My head begins throbbing from the disorienting image. In and out, I can feel my head almost pulsing. I shut my eyes to numb the sensation, but it still remains. I feel the machine pry away something and enter a part of my throat I've never felt anything in before. My breathing is immediately stifled and I heave by reflex, but very little air comes out. My lungs expand and contract in an attempt to receive oxygen, but very little gets past the bulk of the machine. In and out, I desperately try to get the air that I need until the machine blocks my airway completely. My body screams at me to breathe, but I can't. My diaphragm is shaking so much that I can feel it pushing against lungs that won't fill. I'm suffocating. Then, my worries are pulled elsewhere when I'm overcome with an agonizing pain coming from my chest. The machine is ripping apart my lungs from the inside. I try to scream, but only end up pushing around the blood filling my lungs. Stop it! Don't do this to me anymore! I plead through the silence. No, she seems to answer as she turns a knob and the machine becomes even more violent. The noise of its mechanical whirring harmonizes with the brutal tearing of my tissue to produce the instrumentation anticipation of the symphony of gore. In one last attempt at relief, I try to rip myself free from my bonds. My whole body seizes from the effort. My head is pounding so intensely, it feels like it's going to explode. Then all my strength gives way, and I succumb to unconsciousness. I succumb to my mechanical attacker. I succumb to death. I open my eyes to find myself bound to the very same operating table, with my body surprisingly intact. I hear a chilling voice address me. "Welcome back, Clay. Let's do this again, shall we?"